Hi everyone, it's Miss Cheryl here. I would like to take some time to go over these quiz review homework solutions with you to hopefully help clear up any questions or any confusion you had on anything before our quiz. Before checking out this video, I'll encourage you to go on to my website. There's also a link that has the solutions. You can check that if you got the answer right and you feel good about knowing how to do it. Maybe you don't need to watch the video for that particular problem. So feel free to skip forward, jump ahead, and just watch the video for the questions that you need. I also want to encourage you guys to do some additional practice above and beyond this review, especially if you are watching the video for a lot of questions. You'll want to make sure that you're doing some additional extra practice on your own. You can find review problems in your textbook. You can redo problems that I've previously assigned for homework. You can redo problems that we've done in our class notes on a separate sheet of paper and then look back at your notebook to see if you got the same answer. So the best way to study for a quiz or test is to just practice doing as many problems as you can, similar to what will be on the test. All right, so number one, we have these two equations. We're going to identify the vertex, axis of symmetry, domain, and range of the graph. So it's not actually asking us to make the graph, we're just identifying some features of it. So both of our equations here are in the vertex form, and what sticks out to me is that they both have the parentheses, which is a characteristic of the vertex form. We also have the h and the k, which are the x and the y value of our vertex, and then the a value in front tells us if there's a vertical stretch, vertical compression, or if it is flipped over the x-axis if it's negative, like the one down here. So first, to get our vertex, it's always going to be the opposite sign as the number that's in the parentheses with the x. So in this case, the x value of our vertex is positive 5. The y value of our vertex is the same sign, the same number, as whatever is added onto the end. The axis of symmetry equation is x equals 5. It's always the x value of our vertex. The domain is always going to be all real numbers for our parabola. The range, in this case, so we want to do a little bit of thinking about this one. So although it's not formally asking us to make the graph, I'm going to make a little sketch of a graph. We know that it's concave up because it's a positive a value in front. So that means that the vertex point represents a minimum y value, and the only other y values are going to be greater than that number. So for the range, we're going to say our y values are greater than or equal to 1. All right, for our next equation down here, the coordinates of our vertex are going to be -2, -6, so same thing, switch the sign for the first number, same sign for the second one. Axis of symmetry, x value is -2. The domain is still all real numbers. And then to help us think about the range, this one's going to be concave down because it has that negative in front. And so in this case, the vertex actually represents a maximum. And so the maximum y value is -6, and so all of the other y values are less than or equal to -6. Okay, which graph below could be the graph of this equation? So what I would probably look at first is just identify what the vertex should be. From the equation, the vertex should be -4, -3. Right away, that's going to eliminate this first answer choice because we see the x value of this vertex is +4. It still has a y value of -3. If we take a look at the other two choices, they both have a vertex of -4, -3. So we want to think a little further about what could separate these two, and what it's going to come down to is the effect of the 2 that's being multiplied in front. This is going to cause there to be a vertical stretch, which is going to make our parabola look skinnier or narrower. Another characteristic of vertical stretch, so normally if a is 1 or if a is -1, we go over 1 up 1, over 2 up 4. Well, if you take a look at what's going on in this one, if you go over 1, it's actually going up 2. It's a little bit hard to see since it's not on a grid. I took these snapshots from a graphing calculator screen. But if you look in the x direction over 1 and then in the y direction up 2, so that's an indication that it's got that vertical stretch. And so we're going to choose this middle graph. Three reasons to explain our answer choice. So the vertex is a reason, the vertical stretch is a reason, the fact that it's concave up, since it's a positive number in front, that could be a reason. You could also say left 4, down 3. Those are other reasons. Okay, we're wanting to write an equation for our parabola in vertex form. So let's go ahead and write the general vertex form. And so it says that it has a vertex of 2, 1, so that's going to be our h and k value, and it passes through this point. That point is going to represent x and y. So really the only thing we don't know is the a value. So we need to know, does it have a vertical stretch? Is it vertically compressed? Hang on a second.